Okay, all hail everyone and welcome back. Praying everyone is well this afternoon. I'm just making another video. This video is more so for information and research purpose. I came across a timeline that I wanted to share with the community. This timeline is, it's called, let me go up, excuse me. Here we go. A Chronology of Biblical Christianity. And this is by Dr. R.C. Wenzel. I'm going to post the link in the description. So you'll be able to find this PDF. I'm going to try to link it. And that way you can have it for your own research and for your own understanding. So this, I'll read the apology, the author's apology, and it'll give you just an idea of what this particular document is. It says the following chronology is an acclamation of research done off and on for the past 30 years. It began with the simple idea of trying to put a date on major events set forth in the Bible so that a person could get a general bird's eye view of those events in their relation to one another. Then another idea was incorporated of showing secular events that happen at the same time as biblical events, so the reader can associate these events. Sometimes events in the Bible world had an impact on secular world and vice versa. By the time I finished Revelation, I was already entering the AD period and figured, why stop now? So I continued to follow Christianity and its growth and development in the same format. This is not intended by any means to be an exhaustive account. Who can compile 6,000 years of history of humanity into 200 pages? Nor will I guarantee the accuracy of the dates used. Even the best authorities disagree on some of the dates of those ancient happenings. But rather, this is used for study or research, or read through as a novel. It will give a discerning person an idea of what it is all about. One can see God's plan and God's hand as he works out his divine purpose for mankind. I have simply called it a chronology of biblical Christianity, for lack of a better name. It comes to you with a prayer that God will use it to his glory in your life. Okay, so that's the preface of this. As you can see on the left side, you have your BC dates. And there in the middle, you have, in the black, these are names. And in the blue, italicized, you got the dates. I'm sorry, not the dates, but the particular events that happen that correspond to that date. So, personally for me, this has been a godsend in my research and understanding of the scriptures. Like he said, these dates might not be entirely exact, but I like how it's laid out, and being able to get a linear view of the Bible's timeline. I think, at least for myself, this has been, it's given me structure in terms of looking at the Bible from a historical perspective. And also, like he said, he included secular dates, which also give you a more holistic understanding of what was happening outside of the Bible that may have had influence on Israel's actions in the Bible, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not going to go through all these dates. As you can see, It starts in BC time. I'll just, for instance, you got in 2439, God determined to destroy man in his 1536 year. Wow. Okay, in a few years later, in 2425, the cult of Osiris spreads over Egypt. Okay, in 2344, the Hebrew date of the deluge, or the deluge, as well as the Chinese date in their epoch of Fuha, the Babylonian and Egyptian records. So, I mean, right there, that in itself is I mean, you can take just that and do a deep dive into just what happened in terms of those specific texts and how they correlate to each other. Babylonian, Egyptian record, and the Hebrew record of the deluge or the flood. Okay, so look here, 2286, China was ruled by Emperor Yao. See, I had no idea that China was even a thing, you know. But yeah, that's something to also go into or research. But yeah, as you can see, well, first off, though, the way I stumbled into this particular document was, of course, I'm always doing research on Prophet William S. Crowdy in my series, Who Was the Elijah, or Who is the Elijah? And check out my videos on Who is the Elijah. But yeah, as you can see, 487, Egypt revolt against Persia. Okay. 483, Buddha died. I had no idea. So 485, the prophet Daniel wrote Daniel in Babylon, covering 605 to 485 BC. So who knew that Daniel and Buddha were around the same time? That's in itself is an opportunity to really compare that timeline, right? And then maybe not even 10 years later, we have Confucius died. Persia lost the Byzantine, the Bosporus and Cyprus. The League of Delos was formed. But yeah, this is and then shortly after that we have Esther. You know, again, I'm used to. See, Esther comes before Daniel in the Bible. So, you know, if you're looking at it from like, again, this timeline is something that I'm definitely going to take into my a lot of my research and being able to pull from here these specific dates. But yeah, I could go in more. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna post the link in the description. And but yeah, I stumbled across this because, as we know, in the Church of God and Saints of Christ, in the year 1896, there we go, the National Council of Evangelical Free Church was formed in England. John A. Dowie formed the Christian Catholic Church. Thomas J. Cox formed the Church of God Apostolic, and William S. Crowdy formed the Church of God and Saints of Christ. All right, so I just wanted to share that bit of information with you all. Again, praying you all have a blessed day, and I'll say peace be unto you, and as always, tribe up.